turned on the shower. It sounds booky. He didn't do the booky thing, but you get it in it is booky. But yeah, that was that in it. A promise is a promise. Let's get into this. He pissed me off, man. I can't lie. Oh, big up you. Bloody hell, mate. Bloody hell. Which war warrior, come on. But anyways, I did bang you. If you know, you know, pause. But I'm not, yeah. But anyways, getting into this transfer news. That's it. Chat should get banged for real. But anyways, Arsenal transfers. Lisandro Martinez deal priority with spending set to continue after Fabio Vieira purchase, people. This is the first thing, and I'm sure a lot of you lot saw this thing getting resurfaced, people. We're gonna get into Jesus and them thing there, man. Everyone get their opinions in. I promise you, I'm gonna circle back in the chat. I'm not gonna leave you lot. All right, nah, Cam's kids, don't let him violate, man. Make sure you get every damn kit. So you letting your dad say he's getting the black one and you lot getting the red one. The red one looks better in person, but still. Serious note though, Arsenal's purchase of Fabio Vieira is a significant pointer to the business they intend for this summer because a player of his profile and positioning was not necessarily a priority. I disagree with that because we heard Arteta wanted a left-sided centre-back. Nice watch, whatever this is. This suggests unless they are completely changed in their thinking, which is not that typical of Mikel Arteta, the Portuguese youngster was simply too good a prospect to pass up. Signing him does not necessarily mean Arsenal will stop chasing other targets or that Vieira's arrival replaces other targets in sight, such as Rafinha, Gabriel Jesus, or Lisandro Martinez. Rather, they are keen to press on. The plan ideally is to recruit them all. Don't gas me. The plan is to recruit them all. Hopefully, obviously, we've all watched, what's that thing on Netflix, man? It's not the Casa de Patel, Money Heist. They had a plan and it went left, didn't it? So just because we got a plan don't mean that it's going to bang sort of thing. But don't gas me. Look at these names. Imagine we grabbed all of them people. Rafinha, Gabriel Jesus. It's more South American man in Lisandro Martinez. Obviously, where's Tielemans' name though? Vieira as well, but I don't see Tielemans' name. Hopefully it's later on in the article. I'm seeing bare comments. Where's Tielemans? Hopefully we could sign them all. But you'd imagine we have to get rid of certain players as well. Vieira's transfer happened very quickly, where there were other names on the list, but ultimately the degree to which Arteta wanted this particular player dramatically accelerated the deal along with George Mendes. The deal running for 5 years and worth 35 million. Although Vieira has played multiple positions in his career and can also operate as a second striker or wide player, the 22-year-old is regarded by Arsenal primarily as an option as a 10 or an 8, the same role I said he should be playing. You get it. Arsenal are expecting him to need some time to adapt after moving from Portuguese football, but there is considerable excitement within the camp that he can develop into an exceptional player, inshallah. That is something which remains key in their strategy, identifying the promise of high caliber talent while they're still affordable. The 19-year-old Brazilian winger Marquinhos. Now, I've never seen him play 90 minutes, and I wish you all the best, Brazilian bias. But based on the compilations going online, I can't lie, it looks meaty. But anyways, a recent arrival from Sao Paulo is another indicator of that, and his integration is with the future in mind. With so much focus on creative players, it's not forgotten that Arsenal still have some thinking to do defensively. Matt Turner will soon meet up with his new teammates following his move from New England Revolution. Saliba is set to restart his career at London Coley after his post-Nation League holiday. Arsenal would like Martinez to join the defensive block. The Ajax left-sided centre-back would add more depth in the position Gabriel made his own last season. Sources indicate Arsenal have had an offer in the region of 30 million, rejected already. The 24-year-old, who is said to be keen on joining Arteta's side, would also provide cover at left-back for Tierney, similar to how Tomiyasu is also able to play both positions on the right-hand side of defence. A deal would increase the likelihood of a loan for Nuno Tavares, though the player is happy in London after getting a sometimes testing debut season under his belt and is keen to stay. Shit, could you go Brentford on loan then? Could you go Crystal Palace? Could you go Millwall? Could you go Leyton Orient? If you want to stay in London, but it can't be here. It can't be here. Respectfully, Tavares, you're not ready. It's going to cost us points. You know, you're not one of the young players that we'd rather persist with. You know, you might become a madman. I'm screaming, let's just sell him. Make our peas quickly, innit? But cool. Anyways, Arsenal are now also looking to close a deal for Jesus as swiftly as possible. Manchester City are seeking 50 million and don't need the money, but there is hope an agreement can be reached between the clubs, with the Brazilian forward ready to join and personal terms not thought to be a problem. Yuri Tielemans is another name high on Arsenal's list, but that is more of a nuanced situation. It is likely to depend on other movement in central midfield. Granit Xhaka remains an enigmatic presence, but if there was a deal to be done for him, it would open the door wider for Tielemans with a fee of around 25 million needed to do business with Leicester. Smack the like button, people. Tielemans was very close. Tielemans was very close to happening late last season, when Arsenal looked like they could return to Champions League, but the move became last season, but the move became less certain with their 5th place finish, only providing Europa League football in 2022-23. The Belgium is not against staying at Leicester for the final year of his contract, as you shouldn't be. You know, you're comfortable at Leicester, you're playing, you've got a World Cup year, you do well at the World Cup, or you do well in the Premier League, you're going to be a free agent. We all know a byproduct of football now is becoming a free agent. I think he's open to moving to Arsenal. He's open to staying at Leicester for the last duration of his contract. He's open clearly to other offers, and that's the thing that scares you with Arsenal. You know, the more that it kind of leaves you there, other people could get involved for Tielemans. You know, but we did hear Arsenal are quite confident, but you know, quite confident is dead. As much as I'm excited about what we've just read about Lisandro Martinez, technically Gabriel Jesus, Tielemans, any players I've left out, with the exception of Fabio Vieira, none have, well, and technically he ain't on Arsenal.com, but none are over the line, you know, really and truly. You know, Spurs will link with a whole heap of players. Basuma's over the line. Is Richarlison and these other guys. It's another thing getting them over the line. So it makes sense for Tielemans to want to consider everything. Arsenal, I mean, to be fair, we need to get some outgoings done, innit? Arsenal clearly need to generate some funds from outgoings and will welcome the money that could be raised from selling a cluster of first-team players who have some value but are unlikely to get any playing time under Mikel Arteta. The likes of Lucas Torreira, Leno and Nicolas Pepe. A deal for Leeds United Rafinha is thought to be contingent on a Pepe exit. You've got a new agent, get your agent to do his job. And it's believed Arsenal and the Ivorian are keen for this to happen, but the club would want to see a reasonable return on their record signing. Bro, loan with an option to buy, that's it. You'll be lucky to get 20 million. You know, dream chase, try and get 40. You're not getting no bread back for Pepe. The most you could do is maybe a loan, get up a little loan fee, hope he bads it up back in France or something. He'd return next summer of 2023 with a year left on his deal. Someone might buy him for peanuts. Who's copying him? You signed a new agent. Sometimes agents can make things like Mendes got Fabio Vieira move here. You got a new agent, Pepe. Why are you going to get a new agent? You know, whether is it new marketing, is it new transfers? Get it done, in it. So let's hope something can be done. But you was linked with PSG, but I don't see where you go. But the club, you know, the club want to see a reasonable return. Barcelona's interest in the Brazilian took a hit with Leeds surviving relegation on the final day of the season and being less vulnerable to a cheap sale, which leaves a path for Arsenal to somehow show ambitious and aggressive they want to be how ambitious and aggressive they want to be in this summer's market. I need to zoom in. This is very difficult. It's a difficult balancing act. Spending without recouping first is a gamble. At the same time, they do not want to miss their top targets and are very wary of the dangers of waiting until the end of the window to complete too many deals. The lesson of last season is fresh. Arsenal were clearing their recruitment pattern a year ago with young developing potential at the heart of the rebuild, but due to lateness of key signings, the team were not ready when the action began, and the club endured their worst ever Premier League start with 3 losses in a row, no goals scored and 9 goals conceded. 9 months later, they finished 3 points short of Champions League qualification. Arteta wants his side to be both well-stocked and well-tuned for the kickoff. As I always say, we need to be over-prepared. If it's wet, if it's cold outside, you want to have too many layers but then take some off. You don't want to have flip-flops and sandals and a wife beater. 30 more likes, better yet, until 300 people. There's 600 locked in. Come on, something's not working. Something's not making sense, people. Shout the Twitch ones because you lot are amazing. So that's the first bit there. There's also an article on Saliba here, people. Which is it sensible? Do you lot want to read it? Fuck it, man. We ain't got nothing to lose. Big up you lot for tuning in. Saliba at Arsenal, where he can fit and comparing him to the other centre-backs. William Saliba will be at Arsenal next season, not on loan. Their manager, Mikel Arteta, says as much too. So for Arsenal fans who have waited since the summer of 2019 to see the defender make his competitive debut for the club's first team, the signs are undoubtedly promising. We all know he's been capped by France, won some individual awards and doing what he's doing. Last season's first choice pair of Ben White and Gabriel could be joined by Saliba, with Holding also available to provide cover. The Athletic has previously reported on Arsenal's interest in recruiting a new left-sided centre-half to replace Pablo Mari, with the 28-year-old having been given permission to leave permanently in this window after spending the second half of last season on loan at Udinese. Although not of the utmost priority, a new left-footed centre-back remains of interest. You know, in January we tried to sign Slollebeck from Freiburg, who obviously ended up going to Dortmund. And obviously this summer, once again, reiterating there has been inquiries made about the 24-year-old Argentine and Ajax player, Lisandro Martinez, who can play left-back, centre-half and step into midfield. Arsenal also know that with Saliba now in the squad, they should have enough depth in central defence. Saliba is regarded primarily as a right-sided centre-back and right-back. I mean, right-back, unless we're playing like Burnley and that, and it's a low block, yeah, I'm not really with that. Ben White is the backup right back if we're not signing someone. Tomiyasu regularly plays to the left of a centre for Japan. If required, Arsenal could move Tomiyasu to the centre and play one of White or Cedric at right back. Who's that? Cedric, I don't want to see you at the club anymore. If Saliba does stay, a left centre back could still be signed, but only if it is particularly good market opportunity. But how would the Frenchman fit into Mikel Arteta's plans? Obviously, I'm not going to bore you with this, but as you know, he scores quite high for all possession-based sort of stats. And as you can see here, you know, on a pie chart on Smarter Scout, he's scoring 96 out of 99 for link-up play. We all know I'm not going to read this to show. We all know he's very cultured on the ball, people. It's quite boring, actually. It's quite dead. I thought this article was going to be a lot better. So there you have it. Long story short, Saliba's going to get opportunity in it, really and truly. What becomes clear in this analysis is that Saliba, who played in 3 or 4 of France's 4 Nations League games this month with 2 starts, does have the requisite quality to provide Arteta with an intriguing option next season. He's painfully good allegory for White, an effective ball carrier and reliant passer, and it will be interesting to see how game time is divided between them. Crazy. So we'll have to see what happens there. Hit the like button, people. Let's head over to Google Chrome. That article was filled with a lot of jargon. Let's head over to Google Chrome and start looking at some other articles that are locked in, people. Granit Xhaka's yellow card versus Leeds is being investigated by the National Crime Agency after a 65,000 bet on the Arsenal ace being booked. Someone tried to make some peace, but it didn't bang, and, you know, the investigations are underway. He'll bust case. Apparently, Xhaka, the investigation is looking at the bet rather than Xhaka's behavior. It is not unusual for him to be carded at all. It is when you check his discipline stats lately, to be fair with you. Once again, Arsenal have been linked with Lisandro Martinez. I'm not going to go over the same things. Don't know why that's open. We already know with this is some of these are yesterday's. As we know, Fabio Vieira has arrived for Arsenal medical ahead of £30 million transfer. In fact, he's done his medical now, actually. Apparently, in terms of Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal are cautiously optimistic of completing a deal for Manchester City striker. As we know, the asking price was 50 million. We were quoted 30 million. It seems like we're getting over the line where that is concerned, people. We've also been linked with Milinkovic-Savic. I wouldn't mind Anthony from Ajax. Why not? I think we can live with Cedric, but Tavares definitely needs more coaching. I hear it. But I hear you, but I'd rather Tavares, because at least you're young. I know why you're making mistakes. Cedric does a lot of the same things he does. Apparently, Arsenal and Newcastle will battle Chelsea in their pursuit for Milinkovic-Savic, according to reports in Italy. He clearly wants to keep it moving, people. His agent is actively seeking a club, and he's been linked with 3 clubs in England, people. Apparently, the Lazio technical director could be on his way for talks in London, whoever that is with. I don't think, for what it's worth, we're going for him, but you know, it makes a good story, doesn't it? Fabio Vieira's first word as Arsenal's £34 million signing makes promise to the fans. He has promised to work. I love it. He said, I was happy at Porto, but this chance is important for any professional. Playing in the Premier League won't be easy, and I promise only to work. My agent worked on a deal between the 2 clubs, and I accepted the deal because it was important for all parties. I have always watched the Premier League on TV, people. As it said here, Mendes brokered the deal between Arsenal and Porto. Again, get your agents to do the job. And he even picked up his client a 5-year deal. Really and truly. Which is lit. Apparently, a statement from the Portuguese side said, oh, this is just confirming what they've already done, people. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's where he's concerned. Obviously, again, apparently, big up my guy Giles. Apparently, Leonardo Baran, the Brazilian national team journalist, claims Edu has convinced Gabriel Jesus to join Arsenal Football Club. People, make of that what you will. Arsenal do not lose sight of £20 million Euro striker. Is this Simeone? We've been linked with Giovanni Simeone again, obviously in light with what's going on, and they've quoted him at 20 million. He has 17 goals in 35 games and also 7 assists, people. He's also drawing interest from West Ham. Yuri Tielemans, Arsenal interest in Belgian midfielder calls to make 1 year extension Leicester extension more likely. Arsenal have been long admirers of Yuri Tielemans, who has 1 year left on his Leicester deal. However, that interest has waned, having agreed a £34 million deal for Porto midfielder Fabio Vieira. Tielemans staying at Leicester remains on the table. Arsenal have called their interest in Yuri Tielemans, making it more likely the Belgian midfielder will sign a 1 year contract extension at Leicester, which is completely different from where's Fabrizio Romano. We'll get into that, people, because I'm sure he's quashed this for what it's worth. It is thought Arsenal will only sign one centre midfielder in this window, and their preference is Vieira. Leicester do not want to lose Tielemans for free next summer and always have had confidence that if no deal suited both the club and the midfielder, then he would commit to another year at the King Power Stadium. Sky Sports News has been told that communication and understanding between Leicester and Tielemans has remained constant and cordial with a great deal of mutual respect. There's still a long way to go in the transfer window, but Tielemans staying at Leicester remains on the table, people. Says that. Once again, like you see here, people, Rob Dorset is reiterating that. What else have we got? We'll get into that, but I want to find the Fabrizio Romano thing I had for you guys. Once again, even once Fabio Vieira has signed, Gabriel Jesus and Rafinha remain targets for Arsenal. Interest in Lisandro Martinez, and it is what it is. Where is Fabrizio Romano? Charles Watson said Arsenal are very much interested in Rafinha. Whether they push forward and try to get that deal done while Pepe still at the club remains to be seen. Personally, I think they need to get something agreed with Pepe before they can really push on and bring in Rafinha, people, which is a crazy one. 319 likes. Can we begin the assault to 300? One love for you lot doing that, people. Transfer news, and more transfer news. Arsenal summer targets look juicy, innit? Pause. Fabio Vieira, Gabriel Jesus, Lisandro Martinez, Tielemans, and Rafinha. South American / European greatness. As you can see, Arsenal's interest in Rafinha is genuine. Where is Fabrizio Romano's thing, man? Because he kind of quashed these rumors. Where are they? Let me find Fabrizio Romano's Twitter. Fabrizio. Sorry, people, because he said something quite contradicting to what we've just read on Sky Sports about Tielemans, which again puts everything into context potentially. Scrolling all the way down. Apparently, Bremer, the centre back, has said it's just a matter of time when I'm going to leave Torino. Right? Mane going over them sides to Bayern Munich. Crazy. Where is it? Been told, this is Fabrizio Romano 12 hours ago. Been told Yuri Tielemans is not considering to sign a contract extension with Leicester now. Could be an option in September in case he doesn't leave, but not now. Arsenal are working on it since a long time, but no official bid yet. Other clubs also interested. Fair enough. As we know, Arsenal are trying to sell Nuno Tavares, let's loan him out. And if people do want to buy him, they have to pay a fat clause, people. 34 million. Arsenal are smoking. I can't cap. Eddie Nketiah is set to be the number 14, new number 14 at the club after signing a new deal. Apparently, Barcelona aces agent, trying to advance talks with Arsenal over potential M5 switch. So again, it wouldn't be a transfer window if Neto wasn't linked with us, really. Now, is Neto better than Matt Turner? Probably, but I don't know what's going on there. We've been linked with Neto, who Edu tried to bring in ahead of Ramsdale. We'll have to see, pardon me. Apparently, Harry Clark has been recalled from Hibernian after break clauses in the Arsenal loan contract was invoked. Apparently, Arsenal set for 215 transfer spree to blow last summer's Emirates overhaul out the water. Mikel Arteta is clearly trusted by Arsenal hierarchy to spend big, blah, 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 scrolling all the way down. Yeah, I mean, it's not saying there'll be a war chest. It's just kind of saying the money he's going to have to spend, really, by saying, what did he say here? 25 for Tielemans, 30 already on Vieira. Probably a next 50 for Gabriel Jesus. So we'll have to make of that what we will, people. Pardon me. We see that this is not true. Club slammed for underselling player to Arsenal. Manager very angry. Well, this is Porto obviously selling Fabio Vieira. The financial administrator had already announced the need to realize between 70 and 100 million in capital gains this year, and I've already waited for the bleeding to start. Obviously, we have to discount the intimidation costs, and that Porto, we never know they are high or low, but normally they are quite high. President Pinto da Costa has been filling his mouth with numbers, saying that Porto has a situation that allows players to negotiate only through the release clause, and we say this is not true. So yeah, man, everybody's catching heat. Nobody seems to be happy that the player was sold. Leno seems to be getting a move on. What teams he been linked with now? Apparently, he has 2 offers from Spain, and he has offer from Fulham as allegedly as well. So let's see what happens. I saw this thread in relation to Fabio Vieira, and I don't know whether to believe it, people. Fabio plays predominantly going forward. Porto's positional system is very ambiguous, but traditionally he's a 10/right wing. I just get the vibe that this thread is lies, people. So yeah, Matt Turner's vows to push Ramsdale for the number 1 shirt once again. Lol. Arsenal face battle for Yuri Tielemans, people. As you should, 25-year-old is showing his quality. Apparently, Mikel Arteta wants Asensio at Arsenal at all costs. I don't believe that, people, at all. But some of you can. Tottenham and Arsenal to rival for Osimhen. Don't believe that, because if people were putting down the P's, he'd be their player, wouldn't he? So yeah, mate, that's actually all there is where the transfer market is concerned, people. Let's type in Arsenal, try and circle back round again. Gabriel Jesus, Lazaro Martinez. There's a next player. They're all kind of keeping it moving. Guendouzi set to complete his permanent move to Marseille next week. So we'll have to see what happens, people. There's a lot of movements going on. Sorry, people, for yawning up. I'm just yawning up the place. What are you lot